been about 100 days now. A lot of the spring stuff is getting removed for the next round, so lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower all being removed. And you can see pretty much almost a dead pile of what looks like weeds, but those would be the potatoes. So this is what it looks like to know when potatoes are ready to be picked. Obviously you can't see it because they bear the fruit or the tubers in the dirt. And only when we start seeing the upper leaves die out do we know it's time to start harvesting the potatoes. So we'll see how it goes. I would say I was used to having the plants be a little taller. I don't know if that's an indication of whether you have a lot of potatoes or no potatoes or little potatoes. This was the first time we've grown with compost as the hilling material, just simply because we had so much of it and I needed to put it somewhere, so that's why we use it this time. So typically people use the straw or hay with the root-style method, and they get very good results. Dirt can be a hit and miss sort of thing, but we'll see how it goes. So everything's dead. We'll start pulling back, pushing the dirt somewhere else, and we'll show you as we go through this what it looks like and what we end up with. Alright, so everything is out. It's a simple just dig up, push everything through. So I just kind of took the shovel, just went across it and took off the top parts to a point. So you can kind of still see where the hill is. And just this is for confirmation for doing these sorts of things. The hill is not to support more potato growth in here. It's pretty much just to support the vegetation on top. So the next row isn't fully done. Oh, there's the next one. But you can see where the difference in dirt is where the potatoes were, and then we put the compost on top. If I were to just dig my hand across, you're pretty much going to see the new potatoes being formed, pretty much where the seed potatoes were, and maybe a little higher up. So they will be a little higher than the initial growth, just simply because of the potato itself. But it does not continually grow up the stem where you have a significant amount there. So you'll have pretty much a bulb of everything, with all your potatoes really concentrated in one area, right pretty much where the seed potato in the plant originally grows. So I would say this is about probably a 4x3 bed. I can't remember how many potatoes, but probably let's say about 20 to 30 seed potatoes. And this is what we got out of it. So this is a pretty big dump truck. And I would say we probably quadrupled, maybe 5 times the amount of potatoes that we got out of it. So I would say a pretty good yield, better than expected. I didn't think the dirt was going to support it as nicely as I have seen with straw in that. So that worked out well. It is a pretty deep, it's about 6 inches deep, and it's pretty much full to the brim now. These ones are still kind of dying away. And then the other ones that we grew, same sort of technique, pulled them out. These are the red, white, and blue ones. So you see a nice purple, but they categorize them as red, white, and blue. So maybe not as good yield here, but still good enough. So this was probably half, maybe a quarter of the patch that we just did with the red Norlands. And you still see pretty nice potatoes. So all in all, pretty much a success using the leaf compost for your hilling agent for the potatoes. I'm pleasantly surprised, so we'll eat what we have and probably store some for next year to use those as seed potatoes.